A can do a work in 6 days, while B and C respectively can do the same work in B and C respectively can do the same work in B and C respectively can do the same work in 12 days and 18 days. Days and 18 days. If they start together to do the work on the same day, if they start together to do the work on the same day, C stops after working 3 days. C stops working after 3 days. C stops working after 3 days. Then the time required by A and B together to finish the rest of work will be required by A and B together. To finish the rest of work will be A can do a work in 6 days, while B and C respectively can do the same work in 12 days and 18 days. If they start together to do the work on same day, C stops working after 3 days. C stops working after 3 days means good. C stops working after 3 days means A, B and C together work for how many days into the task? If they start together to do the work on same day, they have started together to do the work on that same day, means all together started at a time to complete a work. But what happened in that meanwhile we don't know, but C stops working after 3 days. C stops after working 3 days means A, B and C, these 3 people work together for 4 days, and after 4 days Mr. C left from the task. Then definitely from next day onwards the rest of the work should be completed by the A and B only together. Why? Because the 2 people only remaining in the task. Now the question statement is also like that only. Then the time required by A and B together to finish the rest of work in, like how many days. That is what our question. It's very easiest question, guys. You don't need to get any confusion. So direct to statements we got it here. Direct to statements we got it, and these statements are also very clear to understand, nothing to get any bones anywhere. A can do a work in 6 days. B can do the work in 12 days. C can do the work in 18 days. Great. 6, 12, 18. What is the LCM here? 6, 12, 18. What is the LCM here? A double of 18. That is how much? 36. So double of 18, 36 means total 36 units of work is only available into the task. Total 36 units of work is only available into the task. A need how many days of a time to complete 36 units of a work? A needs 6 days of a time to complete 36 units of a work, means each and every day how many units of work only possible for A? Definitely A should complete 6 units of work every day without missing. Alright, next one. B need how many days of a time? B need 12 days of a time to complete 36 units of a work. B need 12 days of a time to complete 36 units of a work, means each and every day B definitely can finish how many units? B can finish really 3 units of a work in that, one particular day. Now we do understand carefully. Total 36 units of work is only available. To complete 36 units of a work, Mr. A needs 6 days. That means each and every day 6 units of work only possible for A. A caliber we came to know 6 units per day. B need 12 days to complete total 36 units of work, means every day B has to complete 3 units. 3 is the caliber of B per day. Next one. C need 18 days of a time to complete 36. C need 18 days of a time to complete 36 units of a work, means each and every day how many units of work only possible for Mr. C? Each and every day definitely C has to complete 2 units of a work without missing. Let us put attention here. A need 6 days of a time, B need 12 days of a time, C need 18 days of a time to complete a work individually. A need 6 days of a time, means in every day how many units of work only possible for A? 6. B how many units? 3. C how many units? 2 units. All together work for how many days into the task? All together work for how many days into the task? All together started the work. These all together work for how many days? All together work for 3 days only into the task. Alright. All together work for 3 days only. In one day, A 6, B 3, C 2, 6 plus 3 plus 2, total 11 units of work only possible for all the people together. But all the people together work for how many days here? All the people work together for how many days only into the task here? All the people together work for 3 days. In 3 days of a time, they have to complete how many units of work? They have to complete how many units of work here? They have to complete, if they start together to do the work on same day, she stops working after 3 days. She stops working after 3 days. Then the time required by A and B together to finish the rest of the work will be, to complete rest of work, how many days required for? How many days required for A and B together? That is what our question. A, B and C, these all 3 people work together for the 3 days. In that 3 days of a time, they have completed how many units? 33 units of work they have completed. Out of how many units? Out of 36 units, they have completed 33 units of work successfully. 33 units of work completed successfully means how many units of work is only remaining? How many units of work is only remaining? 3 units of work is only remaining. These 3 units of work need to be completed by whom? These 3 units of work should be completed by A and B together. Already we know A completes how many units of work in a day? 6. B completes how many units of work in a day? 3. 6 plus 3, 9. In one particular day, 9 units only possible for these 2 boys together. But here how many units only they have to complete? How many units only they have to complete here? How many units only they have to complete? 3 units. In one particular day, 9 units means to complete 3 units. How many hours only required? 9 units means 3. 9 units means 3 means 1/3. 1/3 means 1/3 of a day only required. 1/3 of a day means that is how many hours? How many hours only required for them? 8 hours only required. 1/3 of a day should be how many hours? 1 day 9 units. To complete 3, 1/3. 1/3 means 1/3 of a day. 1/3 of a day 8 hours. Really they need 8 hours of a time to complete the remaining part of a work. Make a note. Really A and B working together, they need how many hours of a time? They need only 8 hours of a time or 1/3 of a day. Whatever it might be, both are same. 8 hours of a time or 1/3 of a day only required these 2 people together to complete the remaining part of a work. Once after completion of all the people working together for the 3 days, and even in that 3 days also they have completed 33 units of a work. Make a note. Can do a job in 45 days. Job in 45 days. $20 days and 60 days respectively. Days and 45 days, 20 days and 60 days respectively. If they complete the job by working on rotation, they complete the job. If they complete the job by working on by working on a rotation each for 1 day. Rotation for each 1 day, starting with P. Starting with P and earn rupees 480, then find the hours share. P, Q and R can do a job in 45 days, 20 days and 60 days respectively if they complete the job by working on rotation for each 1 day, starting with P and N rupees 480, then find R's share. So in this question we have to find out share of R. Total how many rupees only available for them? 480 rupees only available to make a distribution among these 3 people. So total 3 people are involved into the question here, P, Q and R. P need how many days of a time? 45. Q need 20. R need 60. So let us focus here. P need 45 days means in 1 day 1/45 of work only possible. Q need 20 days means in 1 day 1/20th of work only possible. R need 60 days means in that 1 day 1/60th of work only possible. 45, 20, 60. What is the LCM? Double of 60, 120, triple of 60, 180. So total 180 units of work is only available. To complete 180 units of a work, P need 45 days of a time. P need 45 days of a time to complete 180 units of a work means, great. To complete 180 units of a work, P need 45 days of a time means how many units of work only per day possible for Mr. P? 4 units. Next one. Q need 20 days of a time to complete 180 units of work means how many units of work only possible for C like Q in 1 day of time? 9 units. R needs 60 days of a time to complete 180 units of a work means how many units only possible for Mr. like or in one particular day? 3. So in one complete cycle, that means in that cycle P has to work 1 day and Q also has to work for 1 day. R also has to work for 3 units per day. That means in 1 day only P, Q and R, all the 3 people has to work for 1 day in one cycle. In one cycle how many units of works only complete here? 9 plus 4 plus 3. 4 plus 9 plus 3 means 4 plus 9 13. 13 plus 3 16. In one cycle 16 units of work only completes if at all these 3 people are working on alternate days. Here by working on rotation for each 1 day means these 3 people are working on that alternate days base only. That is what meaning here. In one cycle 16 units of work completed means how many cycles should be continued here? So like this process goes till continuation of all the 180 units here. One cycle 16 means 11 cycles. Great. 11 cycles how much here? 10 cycles 160. 10 cycles 160 means 11 cycles means 176 units of work only will be getting completed here. 12th cycle, in the 12th cycle, first day, that is the first day for P, that means 12th day for P. Here in the 12th cycle P has to P has to work for that first day. 12th day of a P has to work for that completion of 4 units. 11 complete cycles completed. In the 12th cycle P work only for that one day. In that one day P completed the remaining 4 units of work successfully. 12th cycle is not completely required. Why? Because with that first person only we have completed all the remaining units of work, whatever is pending after completion of 11th cycle. Now when we talk about Mr. R here, we have to find out what about the share of R here. R's share means how many cycles are successfully completed? 11 cycles. In the 12th cycle Mr. R need is not required for us. Alright. Okay, when we talk about when we talk about Mr. R here, R completely involved into the how many cycles? 11 cycles. 11 cycles means Mr. R worked for 11 days into the task. That is what only meaning here. Each and every day, how many units of work only possible for R? 3 units. R work for 11 days means 11 into 3. 11 into 3 or work for 11 days. Each and every day R has to complete 3 units. Okay, each and every day R has to complete 3 units means basically here R work for that how many days here? 11 days, every day 3, 11 into 3, 33. R completed totally 33 units of a work only in that 11 cycles. 33 units of work completed by R out of how many units? 180 units. What is the payment here? 480. So that we can find out what about the share of R here. Let us go for that calculation. How many times possible here calculation? 3, 6 into 8, 3, 11, 11 into 8, total 88 rupees of distribution only should happen for or into the distribution process. Total 88 rupees of only distribution need to be happen for that or into the entire distribution process. Let us make a note this one, guys. This one is very clear. P need 45 days of a time, Q need 20 days of a time, R need 60 days of a time. 45, 20, 60. What about the least common multiple here? 45, 20, 60. What about the least common multiple here? 180. Total how many units of work is only available? 180 units of work is only available. Great. To complete 180 units of a work, P need how many days of a time? 45. Every day how many units only possible for P? 4 units. Q 20 days required to complete 180 units means every day 9. R also every day 3. These 3 people are working on alternate days. That means rotational base. In one complete cycle, P has to work for 1 day, Q also has to work for 1 day, and even R also has to work for 1 day. In one complete cycle, 4 plus 9 plus 3, that is together how much? 4 plus 9 plus 3, 13 plus 3. In one complete cycle, total 16 units of work only completed. And again second cycle has to start. In that second cycle, P should be involved on first day, and next day would be the first day for that Q, and next day would be the first day for that R, like that continuous process till completion of all the 180 units. In one cycle 16 units completed means near about how many cycles need to be completed to complete 180 units? Near about 11 cycles should be complete to complete 180 units of a work. In that 11 cycles, how many units of work we have completed successfully? In that 11 cycles we have completed here 176 units of work successfully. 12th cycle That is the first day. In that first day P only involved. Why? Because only that work started with that P only. Because of that reason P only involved here. P completes how many units here? Per day 4. Here also P need to complete 4. 176 plus 4, total 180 units of work is completed. There is no requirement for that Q and R like in the 12th cycle. When we talk about Mr. R here, R completely involved into the how many cycles here? 11 cycles. 11 cycles means 11 days only Mr. R has to be worked. Already Mr. R worked for 11 days means each and every day 3. 11 into 3, total 33 units of work only Mr. R completed out of 180 units with the payment of 480. Here we have done calculation, we have finalized. Total 88 rupees of distribution is only for R. So that's how we need to focus, especially these kind of questions, my dear guys. Great. Pipe A and B can fill a cistern in 3 hours and 4 hours respectively. Pipe A and B can fill a cistern in 3 hours and 4 hours respectively. A waste pipe C can empty it in 2 hours. A waste pipe C can empty it in 2 hours. If these pipes be opened in order, if these pipes be opened in order at 7, 8 and 9 o'clock, and 9 o'clock, when will the cistern be filled? When will be the cistern be filled? Pipe A and B can fill a cistern in 3 hours and 4 hours respectively. We are talking about how many pipes here? 2 pipes are, first 2 pipes are filling pipes and the last pipe is a leakage pipe that leaks the complete tank in how many hours? 2 hours. If these 3 pipes or else these pipes be opened in order at 7, at 7 o'clock pipe A was opened and at 8 o'clock pipe B was opened. At 7 o'clock pipe A was opened means pipe A has to work only for how many hours? Only 1 hour. Why? Because, and again at 8 o'clock pipe B also opened. Again at 8 o'clock pipe B also opened means from 8 o'clock onwards pipe A and B has to work together. That is what only meaning here, my dear guys. Here and 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock leakage pipe also open. That means at 9 o'clock pipe A, B and C all together has to work. If at all these pipes are started to work like in this manner, when will be the cistern will be filled? That means at what time this cistern will be filled? That is what only our question. These three pipes are open like in this manner. At what time only the tank would be completed? That is what our question. Let us make a point out here. Pipe A is a filling pipe or leakage pipe? A is a filling pipe or leakage pipe? Filling pipe. A need how many hours of a time? 3 hours means in 1 hour, 1/3 of tank only possible for A. B need how many hours of a time? 4 hours of time means in 1 hour, 1/4 of tank only possible. Next one C. C can empty the tank in how many hours? 2 hours. In 1 hour, half of tank is only possible. Let us go for that capacity of a tank here. What would be the capacity of a tank here? That means 3, 4, 2. 3, 4, 2 means what is the least common multiple here? Double of 4, 8. 8 is not applicable for 3. Triple of 4, 12. 12 is also applicable for 3 and 2, even 4 also. Least common multiple of 3, 4 and 2 we came to here, that is 12. Let's suppose total 12 units of work is only available. 12 units of work is only available. That means 12 units of water only need to be filled by the pipe A. Pipe A is a filling pipe. What is the indication for us? Plus represents filling pipe. Here minus represents leakage pipe. That is what, like representation for us, like regarding to the filling and leakage pipes. This one is the representation for us, like about filling and leakage pipes. Pipe A, 3 hours to fill 12 units of water into the tank means every hour how many units of water is only possible for that filling pipe, that is pipe A? 4 units. In the same manner, pipe B need how many hours of a time to fill 12 units of water into the tank? Pipe B need 12 hours of a time. Pipe B need really 4 hours of a time to fill 12 units of water into the tank. B need 4 hours of a time to fill 12 units of water into the tank means each and every hour how many units of water is only possible for that pipe B to fill into the tank? Each and every hour pipe B fills only 3 units of water into the tank. Alright, when I talk about next one C, pipe C is a filling pipe or leakage pipe? Pipe C is a leakage pipe only. Pipe C need how many hours of time only to leak the total 12 units of water from the tank? To leak the total 12 units of a water from the tank, pipe C require 2 hours of a time. Each and every hour, pipe C leaks how many units of a water from the tank? 6 units. Alright. When I talk about work status with respect to the given information, at 7 o'clock which pipe was opened? Pipe A was opened at 7 o'clock. Pipe A has to work only for how many hours? 1 hour. In 1 hour of time, pipe A has to complete how many units of water into the tank? 4 units of water only pipe A should have to complete into the tank. Alright, next one, at 8 o'clock what happened? At 8 o'clock pipe B also opened. That means from 8 o'clock onwards till 9 o'clock, that is 1 hour, pipe A and B has to work together. Pipe A and B has to work together means in 1 hour 4 plus 3. In 1 hour 4 plus 3, that is how much? 7 units of great. 7 units of water is only filled by these two people in that 1 hour of a time. Already pipe A worked only for 1 hour. In 1 hour of a time 4 units of water completed. A plus B 1 hour, 7 plus 4 11. Next hour, that is 9th hour, pipe C also opened here. Right now these three pipes are working together. These three pipes are working together means 4 plus 3, 7, 7 minus 6, 1. These three pipes work together for 1 hour. In that 1 hour of time, how many units of water only to fill into the tank means 1 unit. Why? Because pipe A fills 4, B fills 3, C leaks 6. 4 plus 3, 7, 7 minus 6, 1. That 1 unit of water is only should be filled up into the tank because of working these three pipes together at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock means at 9 o'clock this pipe is open. 9 to 1 hour means at what time only these pipes is going to, or else at what time only these three pipes will be complete water into the tank. At what time only these three pipes will be completing that task into the tank. 7 from 7 1 hour 8, 8 from 1 hour 1 hour from 8, 8 plus 1 9. At 9 o'clock last two pipe also opened along with these two pipes. 9 plus 1 10 hour. At what time only that cistern would be completed if at all pipes are working like in this manner? Pipes are working like in this manner, definitely that cistern would complete at 10 o'clock, no doubt about it. Let us put attention on this one also, my dear guys. Tap A can fill a tank in 3 hours. And tap B can fill the tank in 4 hours. Can fill in 4 hours. Hours. What fraction of the tank can be filled by? Fraction of the tank can be filled by A alone, what fraction of the tank could be filled by A alone in the time taken by the time taken by A, both working together to fill the tank. Tap A can fill a tank in 3 hours and tap B can fill in 4 hours. What fraction of the tank can be filled by A alone in the time taken by both working together to fill a tank? Both working together to fill a tank means we are talking about together. We are talking about together means total how many pipes are only involved into the statements here. So statement number 1 is clear, that means sentence 1. In the first sentence, A can fill a tank in 3 hours and B can fill a tank in 4 hours. These 2 pipes are only involved. These 2 pipes are only involved. A need 3 hours of a time. B need 4 hours of a time to fill a tank. Anyhow, these 2 pipes are filling pipes only. Great, alright. Now what is what is our question here? A and B are working together. How much time is required? That is what first we have to find out. In that time, how much part of tank would be completed by the A? That is what our question. Okay, first of all we have to find out A and B working together. How many hours of a time only required? 3, 4, 12 units means pipe A fills how many units of water into the tank? 4 units of a water into the tank. Pipe B fills how many units of water into the tank? 3 units. Alright. A and B working together, total 12 units, working together. In 1 hour, how many units of water is only possible for these 2 pipes to fill into the tank? 4 plus 3, 7. Total 12 units. 12 out of 7 means, 12 out of 7 means, like you know, how many hours only required? 12 out of 7 means 7, 1, and what is the remainder? 5 by 7 hours only required. So 12 by 7 hours means 1, 5 by 7 hours means we have written like this one. So basically the general fraction we have written into the mixed fraction. General fraction means 12 out by 7. 12 out of 7 means 12 is not exactly divisible by 7. Let it be. A and B working together, these 2 pipes together required 12 by 7 hours of a time. Right now we have to find out pipe A. Great. Pipe A fills like you know 1 complete tank in how many hours? Pipe A fills 1 complete tank in how many hours? I am talking about relation between pipe to the work. We are talking about A here. Pipe A need how many hours of a time to fill 1 tank? 4 hours. How many hours of a time only to fill 1 tank? 4 hours. If you want to go for that, pipe A fills in 1 hour of a time 1/3 of tank. In 1 hour, 1/3 of a tank. In 1 hour, 1/3 of a tank means what we are talking here? Pipe A fills in 1 hour 1/3 of a tank. Right now, how much part of tank is only possible for pipe A to fill into the tank? If at all A and B are working together, what was the time required? What was the time required here? A and B working together, these 2 pipes together can fill tank in 12 by 7 hours. In these 12 by 7 hours of a time, how much part of tank is only could be filled by the pipe A? That is what our question. How much part of tank only could be filled by the pipe A in A and B working together of a time? A and B working together, how many hours of a time only required? 12 by 7 hours. In 1 hour, 1/3 of a tank means in 12 by 7 hours, how much part of tank is only possible for pipe A here? How much part of tank is only possible for pipe A here? In 1 hour, 1/3 means in 12 by 7 hours, really pipe A could fill. Great. Really pipe A could fill how much part of tank in that 1 hour of a time? 1/3. How much of tank only possible for pipe A in 12 by 7 hours of a time? In 12 by 7 hours of a time, pipe A could fill 4/7 of a tank. This much part of tank is only possible for pipe A in 12 by 7 hours of a time. This one should be the grade. This one should be the required conclusion for us, especially for this kind of questions. Nothing to get any confusion. This question is also very clear, direct statements. Both are filling pipes only. Two are working together. 12 by 7 hours of time only required. In 12 by 7 hours of a time, how much part of tank is only filled by the pipe A? That is what our entire question. So we have seen over there, in 12 by 7 hours of a time, pipe A could fill 4 by 7. That means 4/7 of a tank only. Alright my dear guys.